Hi aspirants, I am Ritesh Shukla and today again I will be presenting something which will be helpful for you in preliminaries. Also, it would be helpful for mains examination. A very short part of it, but today I will be presenting this before you. If you want, you can like and subscribe my page, which is Congenial. Also visit my website, which is congenial.co.in by the same name. And this is part of current affairs which will be essential for preliminaries, which is for about 15 days from today. And it may be helpful, it may not be helpful. I won't be able to tell you a lot on this, but definitely there could be something related to it. If it doesn't come in the preliminaries, maybe it will be mm, coming in the mains examination, so you will have to focus on the areas whichever I'm going to discuss in this video. So we must start with what international issue must one stick to, what must be the issues to which one must be concentrated. Not every issue in the world or the global issue one cannot just stick to it. So you will have to understand what all the international issue you will have to pick and learn them. So one that is in interest of our diplomacy with other countries. So only those issues which are in interest of our diplomacy with other countries, not particularly in a positive way, even if in some way which may not be in positive to us, but these international issues should be influential to us in some or the other condition. So another aspect of this international issue which you must learn would be one that may impact our relations with the ones with whom we have been involved bilaterally. So those countries to which we have been focused on, say for example Asian nations, or China or Pakistan, our immediate neighbor, which is to which we don't have a very cordial relation these days. So if any other country has some cordial relation with our neighboring countries, or even the countries to which we have been part of or we are part of, definitely the issues which are picked up in all those organizations or institutions should be studied or should be taken up when while learning about international issue. Now about one that influences international community as a whole and is centered to attention by many countries, all those issues which are which influences the international community and is centered to attention. Say for example, the migration issue has been center of attraction for many of the countries in different years. Even today migration is uh, very essential issue in the global forum. So all these international issues, one you must pick so that you can learn a lot about them. Definitely there are questions from it, from all these international issues. Even in 2014 and in 2015, continuously in both the examinations there were different international organizations, and also issues which were pertaining to those organizations, there were questions related to them. So you will have to understand the international issues likewise. Now let's start with China, our immediate neighbor. OBOR, one must be very much familiar about this initiative because for around 3 years it has been in news. OBOR, One Belt, One Road, a pilot project by the Chinese President Jinping. It aims to connect Eurasian nations and their adjacent seas, establish trans-regional partnerships, and realize diversified, independent, balanced, and sustainable development throughout the continent. It tries to connect the land part of Asia and Europe both, as well as the sea part. So that's why the it is said here about aim to connect Eurasian nations and their adjacent seas. So this initiative, a very large initiative which has been started by China. These two components are overland Silk Road, which I earlier stated, economic belt stretching from Beijing to Europe, and a maritime Silk Road snaking all the way from the Bohai Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. So as one can understand that Bohai Sea in the eastern part of China, from straight from Bohai Sea through South China Sea and East China Sea, connecting through the Strait of Malacca, it reaches until Mediterranean through Red Sea, and also through Sinai Peninsula, which is through Suez Canal. So all these initiative which has been started under the pilot project OBOR is considered to be very important news in recent affairs. Now this is the map which I was talking about. This is Gulf of Bohai, and the blue part which has been shown here. This map is made by MERICS, which is Makeda Institute, which is a magazine which produces Chinese policies. So this map was made by MERICS, and this is the route which I am showing. This is through the pen here. This blue blue region which has been marked is the Maritime Silk Road, whereas the red region which has been marked here is the newly proposed OBOR, and the green ones are the existing ones, and all the dotted ones are the existing one, or the ones which has been planned and are under work. So this is what all this map is indicating. Now another news, Myanmar China pipeline opens for business. Now crude oil began their slow northward crawl through a new pipeline connecting the Burmese coast to the southern Chinese city of Kunming, China, to address its Malacca dilemma, the fact that the country's oil imports come primarily through the Malacca Strait and disputed South China Sea. Now, for 2 days in November, Hamburg became the center of productive Sino-European exchange. Around 550 economic leaders, entrepreneurs, and representatives of economic and political institutions from China, Germany, and other EU states gathered at the Chamber of Commerce for the Hamburg Summit. China meets under the heading which was China meets Europe. So this is all about China. The news which I have uh, put here is related basically to the to our neighboring countries, and like this only the issues will be discussed later on. Now about the European Union and the current issues about the European Union. First of all, we must understand what is European Union. On November 1, 1993, the Treaty on European Union, also known as Maastricht City Treaty, went into effect, encompassing the AC and establishing the modern-day European Union. So, European Union was uh, made in the Maastricht City Treaty. The Maastricht City Treaty contained provisions that resulted in the creation of the Eurozone, in which participants share a common currency, a common central bank, and a common monetary policy. So, all these three were to be shared by the countries under Maastricht Treaty. Now about the issues which has happened in the uh, recent past years. Now about economic difficulties, the 2008-9 global recession and eurozone debt crisis, which was popularly called, made Greece, Ireland, Portugal, and Cyprus require European and international financial assistance, which was marked by lavish member countries such as Germany and Belgium. So these were the two countries who opposed the financial assistance to the Greece, Ireland, Portugal, and forced them to go through eurozone. Now about Euroscepticism, many fueled by worries that too much national sovereignty has been relinquished to Brussels. Brussels is the headquarters of European Union. Europe's economic stagnation, austerity measures, and the eurozone crisis were advocated for Euroscepticism. So, what actually skepticism, Euroscepticism is that there were the member nation countries, there were intentions which was growing in the member countries that too much attention is being paid to the European Union, and the interest of the country, say for example United Kingdom, has been kept or is being kept aside. So European Eurosceptics um, name was given to the those issues which were arising in the member countries. Now, Austria, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Spain, Sweden, and the UK are among those EU countries with increasingly successful populists and to at least some extent Eurosceptic parties. So, all these countries have Eurosceptic parties, the people who feel that too much attention is being paid to the European Union and their personal interest is being demarcated. So these countries are fueling Euroscepticism, as it is called. Now about Britain, and in Britain too, the current news and the most important one, which is what is Brexit. If you were continuous follower of news, you would be countering Brexit for every 2 days in the past year. Brexit is actually British exit from the European Union and has been stated as Brexit. Under the terms of Article 50 of the 2009 Lisbon Treaty, the British people voted leave by a margin of 52 to 48% with a robust 72% turnout from European Union. So already British people wanted to leave European Union because of its hegemony and all the immigration policy which it adopted. So uh, the people have left European Union, and also the reason for the resignation of David Cameron, the earlier Prime Minister. Now, European Union is a body which comprises of 28 members, and it will be left with 27 after the Brexit. The reason why was turned to be policy which were framed by EU on immigration, as I said right now. Another reason was the Eurozone crisis, which created strains after the EU proposed an unprecedented fiscal compact to coordinate budget policy. Also, the Eurozone crisis, which happened in the 2008-2009, and which escalated because of the countries like Greece and other similar countries which were in the European Union. So all those made United Kingdom a larger country with bigger interest to leave European Union. Now let's know something from United States of America, and United States of America has always been center of attraction since the election of Donald Trump as president, because he has been known for his extreme point of views on different issues, and he also has point of view on H-1B visa. So that's why we are reading it here. What is H-1B visa issue? First, we must know that and understand it. The United States issued visas for the H-1B, H-2A, H-2B, and H-4 visa program in 2016. United States used to issue all four of these visa programs, but the total number of workers participating in these programs at any one time is unknown because the various federal data systems states that process visas are not linked. So, because of the irregularities which happened because of the unknown federal data, the H-1B visas were devalued. So this includes H-1B workers who have received visa extensions while awaiting permanent residency status, a process that can take more than a decade. So this irregularity which happened because of the lack of federal data also include H-1B workers who were awaiting permanent visa extensions. Now, many corporate executives say that H-1B program is necessary to make up for a shortage of qualified domestic applicants, particularly for those with advanced technical degrees. Many corporate executives feel that H-1B program is very much important for the industry or organization because they need qualified domestic applicants. They feel that there are shortage of intelligentsia in their own country. So H-1B visa mainly arise because of the irregularities which happened in the federal data, and because lack of the federal data and the unknown information which were not with the government. So H1B visa was completely out of the unknown resources, unknown information from the federal data, which were not available with the government. Now, H1B bills have included proposal to raise the numerical cap, prioritize foreigners who have completed US degree programs on student visas, and reduce fraud and abuse. A bipartisan bill introduced in January 2017 would impose additional requirement on companies requesting H1B visa for workers they plan to pay less than $100,000. So H1B has been renewed and it has been imposed again on United States and exempting a large chunk of immigrants, and it actually imposes a lot of sanctions on the immigrants. So H1B visa is not very much easy as it was easier during the Obama administration. Now about Brazil, as we would be knowing that Dilma Rousseff, the president of Brazil, who is not president now, was impeached because of the irregularities and the corruption which her party worker themselves put on her. Rousseff and her workers' party were putting efforts to impeach her for allegedly using state money illegally to cover up deficits, a slow moving coup. The central bank released data showing that the size of the fiscal credits issued were 35 times greater than anything ever seen at the federal level. So the central bank's data showed the fiscal credits, and they were issued 35 times greater than anything, which were the irregularity. And because of the data debunking and the corruption which was exposed under her administration, Dilma Rousseff has been impeached. The impeachment process comes amid an investigation into a corruption scandal known as Lava Jato. This was the investigation under which this scam was produced. This is car wash for where malfeasance was first uncovered at state oil company Petrobras. The petition for impeachment, which was filed in August and approved April 17, stated corruption, but the actual charges are all related to fiscal mismanagement and the so-called pedaladas, which is known in the local language fiscal maneuvers. Now, Dilma Rousseff has been impeached, but this is the news which has happened in the past recent year. So it will be uh, helpful and useful for you. And again, I will be signing off from here, and stay tuned for uh, another video which I will be producing, and definitely I will be producing because the preliminary examinations are just 10 days away, 10 or 15 days away. So just to wait for it.